Χαίρετε! In this video, we're going to see an Emacs email workflow demonstration using Notmuch.yl. We're going to configure Emacs to send an email from multiple addresses, and we're also to configure to auto-encrypt our emails if a key is available for said address. Now, why use Notmuch? One of the advantages of Notmuch is that it comes with a built-in Emacs support with Notmuch.yl, and also there are packages like Oracle Notmuch that bring integration with the rest of the Emacs ecosystem. So if you're an Emacs user, it's one of the valid choices that you can use as an email client. And also a unique thing about Notmuch is that it is a tag-based system. Basically, you do not rely on your email provider to provide you filtering rules and whatnot to organize your emails into separate mailboxes, which is really inefficient to begin with when working with thousands upon thousands of emails. And since you do not rely on your email provider to organize your emails, it makes moving to a new email provider much easier. Also, your email will be locally stored, and it gives really great performance for filtering and searching through thousands upon thousands, if not millions of emails, actually. Now, for this video, I assume you already have a working Emacs configuration, and your mail provider has support for retrieving and sending mail via third-party apps. If you don't already have a nice sync configuration or you're not sure how to configure it, I will be providing an example configuration in the link in the description. Feel free to adjust to your own needs. Basically, we'll be using iSync to download and synchronize to our remote email server, and then we'll be using Notmuch to index our mail and Emacs to send our mail. Now, after installing Notmuch, run Notmuch setup if you haven't already made a setup, and also create a Notmuch hook if you have not already done that. I won't go really into detail, I will focus more on the Emacs configuration today, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Just play around with this example configuration that I provide for you. Now, when it comes to our Emacs config, I'll provide just an example use package configuration. First of all, we have the update command. I assume the Notmuch script hook that we're going to use is under the .script directory. And also we have a command Notmuch update, which we're going to use. It goes like this. It will create a small buffer here, window actually. And after the command is run, it will close the window for you. This is similar to how MG4 works. Now, I also use my own Notmuch search function, so I will hardcode to have the newest email first. I don't know about the default one. Here it has oldest first hardcoded. I don't know why this is written like that, but it's pretty easy to write your own like this. Okay. And also default Notmuch saved searches, which is basically my week's inbox, today's messages, all mail, and everything in my inbox. How are you going to use that? How you're going to interact with Notmuch on a daily basis? You basically can search for a specific tag, for example Emacs Devel, and afterwards you can filter them. For example, let us search for everything that has to do with non-GNU. You can also filter them basically for anything that is for a specific date. For example, date today. And you have everything that is in the Emacs Devel list that mentions non-GNU for today. Now, also mentioned before, Notmuch interacts really well with the rest of the Emacs ecosystem. For example, you can have a repeated task in your org agenda or anything other general application that you use. Let's store it as a link, for example. It stores the Notmuch search about Emacs Devel, non-GNU, and the date to be today. And in your org file, today's mail checkout, you have that, my bad, here, and you can just visit and you will have the mail that you have set up for your search. You can also, of course, save specific mails, for example, this one, store this email, and let's go back, reply to this email here, for example. If you have your to-dos for the day, you can also use it this way. This is something that I actually use a lot because I love journaling, but anyways. Now let's go into the more fun part. Where is the .org? Yeah. Org source. Okay. Here the tag formatting, you can customize this too if you don't like the default theming. Also the bindings that use the default, I just rebind the Notmuch search and add the update functionality and also the refresh for all buffers to be with the U. Okay. Now, about sending an email using multiple addresses, we have to configure SMTP email. So I'm using to get my password outsource passget. I don't recommend hard coding it. Basically, this is going to use the pass. It's built into Emacs, you don't have to install anything. Let me show you the source. Yep, it should be the latest. Oh, it's since 2015. Nice. Now we're going to be using this little hook here, which is going to adjust our SMTP mail configuration depending on the from field in our email. Let's show you that in action actually. Now, for example, we have this email on the right. If we test this code snippet here, you'll see it will return our from address, our from field. And depending on that from field, we're going to adjust our SMTP mail config, as you see here. If it's my public.thumbsupport.org, it will adjust this to this one. And if it's my university account, it will adjust to my university account. Of course, you can keep adding even more addresses, how many of you like. Now, when it comes to encrypting my emails automatically, I have this GPG list emails available function. It returns all the PGP keys that I have available for its email address. And this one checks the fields that I'm going to send. If all those emails have a valid GPG key, I'm going to encrypt them, sign and encrypt. If not, I'm going to just sign them and also use it as a hook. Also, of course, to sign the keys, you have to have it as a trusted key here. Make sure to use your own key, of course, don't use mine. And let's just see that in action. And when I try to send this message here, it will be encrypted and then sent to myself. And because I already have my PGP key, it will be encrypted to me. And as you can see here, it was already encrypted and signed.